Hey YouTubians, it's Tony here from We Try Anything, channel Extra Anything, so you don't have to. In today's video, I thought I'd do a little video detailing the 3 watches that I have worn throughout 2023. Now, as we're coming towards the end of the year, I thought it'd be quite pertinent to mention the 3 main watches I have worn this year. Now, I have a vast collection. Now, when I say vast, I mean there's a lot more people. There's people out there with a bigger collection of watches that I've got. But because they're affordable, I have amassed quite a few Casio watches, to say the least. Mainly digital, some analog digital and some analog. But this year I've mainly worn 3 watches on a daily basis, and the way it's worked out is it's worked out from kind of January through to what would be towards the warmer months. I've worn 1 watch, and then as we go through the warmer months towards autumn, I've worn a 2nd watch, and then through autumn towards winter, I've worn my 3rd watch, and I've still got it on today. Now, it's just the way it's worked out this year. I have interspersed that with the odd watch here and there, depending on what I'm doing. So, for example, if I'm going out, etc. But the main crux of this video is watches that I've worn on a daily basis for a period of time. Now, what I'll say is, as I'm going through the 3 watches that I have worn throughout the year, I will tell you why, some of the features of the watch, and just give you a brief summary of why I think that they've been ideal this year. So why don't we just jump into the video and talk about the watches that I've worn over the year? So first of all, the start of 2023, my daily watch tended to be this Casio GShock GA2110ET, otherwise known as the Casio. Now, if you haven't seen my review of this watch, a quick overview of the GShock GA2110ET is that it is an analog digital watch from the GShock range of rough and tumble watches. There's a whole host of features that you wouldn't otherwise get on your bog standard analog watch. Built into what is its 5611 module, you have the time, which has an accuracy of plus and minus 15 seconds, so it is super accurate for a quartz watch. It has an auto calendar, world time featuring up to 48 cities and 31 time zones, 5 daily alarms with an hourly signal, stopwatch with an elapsed time up to 24 hours, a countdown timer, hand sweeping mode, plus a whole host of other extras, including a very handy 200 meters of water resistance. All of which is encased within a durable case with the added protection of a tough mineral crystal display window that we've got here. So not only was it a tough and durable watch to wear on a daily basis, but it has a lot of useful functions to boot. Now, I worn this watch on a daily basis as I loved how it looked, and you've got to agree with me, it is a bit of a looker. It's also easy to read the time from, even from a distance, as you can see here. Plus, if I needed an alarm or timer, then this watch catered for my requirements at the time. The other reason for wearing it daily was that I found it so comfortable to wear on the wrist. It never pinched, and it was never too loose or too tight to wear for my 6.5-inch wrist. So it was the ideal G-Shock. I also love the fact that it was a G-Shock that I never had to worry about too much about damaging it or any form of water ingress when wearing it while cleaning the car or simply doing the dishes or any other kind of water-based activities that I was doing at the time. The only negatives of this watch, and I will be honest with you, is that this tends to get a little bit dirty, which is just the bezel on this G-Shock here, because obviously it's coloration with it being like a cream colour. But you can get this G-Shock in other different colours, plus you can get like a more simple singular colour, or you can get ones which are a bit more up the range where you've got Bluetooth built into them, etc. really, so you can kind of tie up with your smartphone. So these watches, that while you are looking at this example here, you can get them in a whole host of other colours, flavours and functionality as well. So it is a great watch. And the one other thing, and it is just been obscured by the minute hand here, is just that small digital display. That was the only other just small negative with this watch. Now, while I didn't look at it all the time, I just had it on the what would be the date and obviously the seconds underneath. If you are looking to use it for its functionality, you may have to squint a little just to set the alarm and the timers and stuff like that. But again, I didn't find it too much of a minus really with wearing this watch on a daily basis for I think it was about 3 maybe 4 months in early 2023. And for me, it was one of those watches which was a wear with no care kind of watch. And it looked great on the wrist and was super accurate to boot. So that is my first of the 3 daily watches that I've worn in 2023. And I hope you do agree with me what an absolute belter to wear at the start of the year. Now the next one to supersede the GShock GA2110 that we've got here is this Casio F105W. Now I know it's in complete contrast to the previous G-Shock that I worn earlier on this year, and this one tended to be worn as it was getting warmer. And the reason why I popped this on as opposed to keeping hold of this watch here is because I started to do more gardening work and more outdoorsy type work, building fences and stuff like that. And I just wanted a watch that was affordable to wear and was something that if it did get damaged, then obviously as it is a pre-owned eBay purchase, then I wouldn't worry too much about it getting scratched or anything like that. Now, as I say, it is in complete contrast to that previous G-Shock for those reasons really. And it is the ideal step up from the Casio F105W digital watch, as it has a much better electroluminescent backlit display. And as I mentioned, the reason why I worn this daily was just because of that construction work and kind of anything that would probably damage an otherwise brand new watch. And it was, as I mentioned, it was very affordable to get hold of and very durable to wear, as you can see here. And for me, this F105 fitted that bill perfectly. Now, I could have worn something like this Casio W735 that I've got here, and this one has been through the wars, and it is a pre-owned, second-hand purchase really off eBay. But I did wear it for a little while, and what I found was that it was just got in the way of me doing any kind of hammering or woodwork or anything like that. And this one, as I say, it just fit the bill really well. And while it is smaller than the other watch that I've shown you, the 735 and the G-Shock, it just fitted on my wrist perfectly well. Didn't get in the way of any kind of hand movements or anything like that. And with it being thin, all kinds of long sleeve tops and hoodies and all that just slid over this digital watch. Now, not only did it handle the knocks and bangs like the champ, I just found the display very easy to read at a pinch, and as you can see from a distance, it is easy to read that digital display. And the backlighting gave it an added advantage over that G-Shock I'd worn early in the year, because when it came to reading in the dark, it was just so easy to read. And as I mentioned, the Casio F105 that I've got featured here is super comfortable to wear daily. And with it being a lightweight watch, I tended to forget that I was wearing it. But what I will say is that, I mean, obviously, as you can see with the strap, it has seen some action really. And it's seen some action while I was wearing it. And again, what a great watch to wear on a daily basis through the summer months. The final watch that has superseded the F105W in terms of daily wear during 2023 has got to be this Casio W86H. Now this one is probably the I'm kind of saving the best for last, and I think that everyone who is into watches should have one of these to hand in their collection, and that is this Casio W86H. Again, it's more of a step up from the last watch that I featured, which is the F105W, in terms of it's just very slightly bigger. Plus, as you can see, that's only water resistant, whereas that is water resistant to 50 meters. So there is a bit of a step up. And again, it's one of those daily beta watches that very affordable to own and very easy on the wrist. And obviously at a distance, this watch, you can't beat it in terms of being able to read the time. And for me, again, like the G-Shock that I've shown you earlier, it is definitely a wear without care. Now, not only is it super comfortable on the wrist, it has the same functionality as the F105 before it, in terms of it's got a daily alarm and stopwatch if required. Plus it has that all important day and date that I do like to have on watches, which makes it so easy just to get an idea what date it is in the month, etc. Now, this watch, as you can see, it's taken no knocks or anything like that, because it is brand new. Now, the reason being is that this was the actual beta watch that I have worn over the last 3 or 4 months. And the reason why I'm just quickly showing you this as towards the end of me talking about the 3 watches, because it hasn't got the same strap as what you would get with a brand new version of this watch, but it has been just a trooper in terms of taking the knocks and the bangs that these watches are kind of, in a lesser extent, designed to take. I mean, they're not in terms of the G-Shock range of watches, which are, you can drop from heights and stuff, but in terms of wearing it on a daily, this to me is the ultimate affordable daily watch that really you should have in your collection, especially if you are outside doing all forms and manner of work, or it's just a watch where, I know I mentioned it earlier, a wear without care daily beta watch, in terms of you just put it on and forget all about it. It's super light, it's small without being too silly small, and it's just one of those watches where you can get it from Argos, I think from about £17, bit more on Amazon. And I do think that the real shame is I think they are discontinuing this watch because of obviously the electroluminescent backlit display is probably costing Casio a bit more than they would like it to. So I think they are discontinuing this watch, and I hope that they do bring out a successor in terms of maybe an LED backlit display, because I think this watch, it's just a shame if it does go. And yes, as I've mentioned, this is definitely a non-standard strap. It was a strap that came with another Casio watch that I have replaced with a genuine one, and I probably will eventually replace this strap with a genuine Casio strap, because I think it deserves it really, because it has been a fantastic watch, and I've literally just took it off my wrist to feature it in this video. So there you go, that's my watches that I've been wearing during 2023. Not as standout and as mad as you can imagine, other than the G-Shock being the only kind of not really affordable watch, but it's been an absolute cracking watch to wear over the early part of this year, especially with how comfortable it is for a G-Shock, and it being a very elegant, very well defined watch to wear. Now, why don't you pop in the comments what you've been wearing in 2023, because it might inspire me to try and get hold of the watches that you've been wearing and try them out myself in 2024. And in 2024 I do promise to mix it up a little, and because the collection that I've got, it's a shame to kind of let a lot of watches just sit in drawers or in watch boxes and stuff, so I am going to kind of mix it up a little bit for next year. So I hope this video was of some interest to you, and if it was, then please click on that like button. It always helps the channel. If you want to see more videos from We Try Anything channel, including that last video of the last watch I'm going to review in 2023 coming very soon, click on that subscription button. Again, it helps the channel grow and expand. And thank you for watching this video. Again, I hope it was of some interest, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.